Sheriff nicknamed Bubba over there?
Was,
Oh, that was-
he retired.
Oh, okay.
Sonny Byerly now.
On top of that, I mentioned it already briefly, don't be absent for your people. Those that were involved, those that were directly affected by it, don't be absent for them. Whether you're in a leadership position, whether you are a coworker, whether or not you're low level, don't be absent for them. So what happened? Oh my goodness.
Bye.
Make as much noise as possible.
I forgot my coat. I'm
We're not
sorry.
trying to have a class here or anything.
Thanks for interrupting.
I'm sorry.
Can you get out?
Do you have everything?
I got everything I need.
Wow,
You're
Logan. Wow.
So in reference to this incident, she pled guilty to tampering with motor vehicle, first degree, two counts, and again, as usual, prosecutorial stuff. She didn't get assault second degree, even though it was filed on her. She pled guilty to resisting interfering with a felony, creating substantial risk of serious physical injury or death. So, yes, those are her scars. As the Joker would say, would you like to know how I got these scars? She caught a round through her right cheek and backside of the jaw, and it blew out her cheek. She got another round in the back of her right hand, so she's got a bad pincher now. And she's doing 6 years. I want to make a strong point on this. I talked about the number of rounds that were fired. Officer Walker's round, I'm pretty certain, was the one that went through the driver's side window, settled into the glove box. And then Officer Lancaster and I fired 11 rounds. The officers that processed this vehicle said it was absolutely shot to shit in the driver's seat. The headrest alone soaked up 3 rounds. 3 9mm rounds into the headrest. The seat back soaked up a couple of rounds, and then the headliner and just along the trunk lid, rounds had skipped off on there. Bullets fail. I talked about that earlier with
Where
Sergeant
were you
Marcus Young.
standing?
I was standing directly behind the vehicle, actually running after it on foot. The other officer planted his feet and he fired 3 rounds. So, you had the back window
What were you
shattered.
gonna do to the car when you caught it?
Huh?
I'm just curious what you were gonna do to the car when you caught it.
Try and get my buddy out from underneath it, 'cause that's what I thought at the time. I thought
Okay.
Amy was underneath the car. That's the only reason I shot at that car. Now, can we make an argument, I talked about earlier, Tennessee Garner, can we make an argument for violent fleeing felon? She just hit a cop with a car. Yeah, we can, but when you reasonably think that your friend's underneath the car, we're all gonna move heaven and earth to stop that car. And that was the goal at that point. Get her foot off that accelerator. At one point, while I was chasing after the car, I do remember seeing her, hearing the vehicle revving, tires skidding as she was making the turn. And she started to turn right, and then I heard the accelerator come off, and I saw the vehicle straighten out. And I thought one of our rounds had connected with her at that point. I never heard Officer Lancaster fire. He never actually heard me fire, never knew I was shooting, and vice versa. But once, obviously the rounds were not effective. Bullets fail, guys. They don't always do what you intend them to do. Even if you're putting your shots right where they need to be, they're not gonna work necessarily.
And if I remember correctly, shooting from the front down into a car, you have to aim really low because it will reflect up a lot.
Exterior to interior on a windshield, the rounds will deflect down. And interior to exterior, the rounds will deflect up. So these really cool videos we see of dash cams where cops are shooting through their windshield, their rounds, unless they're just diamond out their windshield with rounds, most of those rounds are gonna go deflect up until they start getting those rounds through the windshield, like to where there's an actual opening in the windshield.
Just think about the last thing your bullet's gonna connect, your windshield's at a slant, it's gonna connect first at the bottom and then last at the top, that kicks that round up, if you're on the outside shooting in.
Well, it'll kick it down actually. Outside shooting in will kick it down, inside shooting out will kick it up.
Okay.
I don't think that's right, Tom.
Yeah. I can show you the dynamics on it, so.
Well, didn't we just practice that where we just shot at the window and we were shooting as low as we could and it was reflecting up?
The most recent officer involved shooting we had with, where the park ranger got shot he was driving a Ford Explorer. Every single one of the rounds is up here on his Explorer. There's 11 rounds, there's one in the headrest, or there's one up in the,
window, you mean, or?
yeah, in the front windshield, and these are all exterior coming to through the interior. He was shot twice in the vest, twice in the arms, and once in the legs. All the rounds actually deflected down.
Well, I mean, was
On that.
it a tall shooter doing that, or?
No.
Because we were testing it, shooting straight in, and it reflected with the angle of the window.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah.
that's with the Hornady's, critical duty.
Well, and
You your bullet reflects with the angle.
Yeah,
If
normally,
I remember right, I hate to.
as
be
I
wrong.
recall, it comes in, I mean,
Somebody's
yeah,
gonna have to Google this.
you can have it reflect with the window, but normally if
Well,
it's gonna hit the upper part, it's gonna wanna drive it down, cause that's the last point that it contacts on there, is that upper section on there. That's if it goes through the glass, otherwise they curve it up. So, but anyways, we'll have to look that up, cause
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna be an
could have
interesting
swore,
point.
I mean, I could have swore.
I have the exact opposite from what we've seen with our shootings, is that normally the rounds go down from exterior.